and the crisis that our own doctors will be facing if this mandate continues to push forward. And so we realize this mandate is not just going to affect the consciences and so forth of our bishops who have to make big decisions. It's going to affect our doctors. It's going to affect us in such incredible ways. And so I'm just so grateful we were able to hear such an incredible talk on the necessity of our political action to defend our freedom and defend the great gift of religious freedom that we have. You know, as a priest, you oftentimes run into people who are dying, like Dr. Fernandez. We have many times going to hospitals, and this one kind of revolves the story. I want to tell you a true story about a husband and a wife. I got called to the hospital to anoint this fellow who was 97 years old. He was going to have an operation, and he wasn't going to make it through the night. So I go into the hospital, and I go in there, and he's lying in his bed, and he is flirting with his 95-year-old wife. They're having this little conversation, they're giggling, they're kissing each other. It was like two teenagers who had just started dating. And there's their 72-year-old daughter sitting there in the room. I looked at them, I looked at her, she said, "Oh, they've been like that for years." So as I'm talking with him and sharing with him, and he's telling about World War II and his time in the Navy, I then anointed him. And after anointing him, his wife said to me, "Father, can you anoint me too?" I figured she's 95, I'll go for it. So I anointed her. And after anointing her, she turns back to her husband and says, "Okay, sweetheart, you're gonna die tonight. But it's okay, because Father blessed me too, and I'm gonna die right after you, and then we can be together in heaven forever." And with such gentleness, he grabbed her hand, looked her in the eyes, and said, "Oh, sweetheart, the past 75 years went by so fast, so fast." I was like, that is cool. He lived about another 2 days, and she died less than a week later. Her daughter called me and said she just couldn't live without him. She wanted to be with him forever. I guess after 75 years, you need somebody to finish your sentences still. What a beautiful gift of life. And we as Catholics, we have a beautiful understanding even of suffering. That we as Catholics know that when we unite our sufferings to the cross, we are more useful to the church than we were when we're doing all those activities. When I speak in nursing homes, I always say in nursing homes, I know you feel rejected right now. I know you feel on the side of things. I know you feel like you're not involved. You miss the parish. You miss going to Mass on Sunday. But the church needs you more now than ever before. We need your sufferings. We need you hanging upon the cross, because we know that as you unite your sufferings to the cross, you're bringing down a flood of grace upon this world. And I encourage them to hang upon the cross with Christ. He didn't save the world in making the blind see. He didn't save the world by walking on water or calming the storm. He saved the world crucified to the cross in suffering and offering himself to the Father. And we have been given the grace and the gift of knowing that our sufferings have been sanctified by Christ. Our sufferings have been made holy by Christ. Those in the hospital, those in those last moments of their life, those who are in suffering with faith, we know that as they enter upon that cross with Christ and they offer themselves in union with Christ, they are more useful to the world than they ever were before. They are a gift, and suffering is a gift. May God give us the grace to understand the mystery and the dignity of suffering. I encourage you to read Blessed John Paul the Great's writing on the dignity and meaning of human suffering. It's absolutely beautiful, his document on human suffering, where it speaks about the dignity of suffering.